Okay, so we are going into a more about functions, and we are still talking. We have to talk about something new, a new aspect of functions, which is the domain and range. That's where we need to go next. So let me maximize this. Um, get this completely maximized, and get my pencil and ready to go. Okay, so we're still talking about, it's yet more about functions. It's 2.3. We have plenty to talk about over here. We're almost finished, but there was a lot there in 2.3. And we are discussing right now the domain and range. And remember again that this applies to homework number 8. So we're up to homework number 8. This is the domain, and that's my letter for and domain and range. So here's problem number 1. What if you're given a set of ordered pairs? Here they are. And you're told here you've got -3 comma -4, followed by -1 comma +3, followed by 0 comma 1, followed by 2 comma 4, followed by 4 comma 4, 4 comma 4, and that's it. So the domain, you haven't heard these vocabulary words before possibly, but the domain, we might have discussed it earlier, but anyway, the domain and the range are not that complicated. The domain goes from -3. The domain is -3 and -1. It's all the x values: -1, 0, 2, and 4. It's all the x values. X values, that's the domain. Now, what about the range? The range is going to be the y values. So -4 is one of them. The 1, and if I put it in order, 1 is another, right? I took this one. I took this one. The next one is, I'm taking that in order, is 3. And then there's 4. And there's 4, but you don't put it down twice. You only put it down once. And here are the range. This is the y values. That is the domain and range. It's not super complicated. Now, let's go to problem number 2. What if you have the same type of question, but it's thrown at you in a different way? What if they give you a graph? Y-axis, x-axis. And the graph basically looks like this. Here's -1, -1, -2, -3. Okay. And then this is 1, 2, 3, etc., 4. And now this is down, this is -1, this is -2, and here is where the graph starts. It's not including that. And it goes like this, it goes like this, and it goes like that. Okay, now what is the domain? What is the domain in this case? The domain are the x values. Well, so where does x travel from? It travels from -3, right? But not including number -3. See, here's -3. This is a 3. So it travels from -3 on the x-axis, right? So the domain is the x-axis, right? Don't forget, the domain is the x values, and the range are the y values. Okay, so it travels from -3, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it goes till infinity. So that's the domain. What about the range? Range is up and down, the y values, right? It's the y values, so it's up and down. Well, where does it start? It starts at -2. It starts at -2 is where the y values start, -2 over here, but not including -2, so there's a parentheses. And where does that go? That goes all the way to infinity as well. It keeps going up and up and up and up and up. So it goes to infinity. So that describes the domain and the range of this particular problem. Another way of putting it is x such that x is greater than -3. And over here, another way of putting it is y such that y is greater than -2. Okay, now one more. What if you have problem number 3, also a graph, y-axis and x-axis, and here's what it looks like. This goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this is a 4 up here. And it extends 1, 2, 1, 2 to the left, here, 1, 2. And right over here, we have a parabola starting going downwards. So what is the domain and what is the range? That's the question. So in this case, the domain is the x values. So x values, this goes on forever and ever. It keeps going and going and going and going. So it goes from -infinity to infinity. Because over here, it keeps going and going and going. What about the range? The range is the top part is 4. It doesn't go any past 4. And it includes 4. So it goes up to 4 and includes 4. It doesn't go past 4, right? It only goes up to 4, but it's going from ever downwards. So it's going from -infinity to 4. So that's the range in case number 3. And that is domain and range. We have some more about domain and range in the next video, but that is some of the most fundamentals of domain and range. So let's stop this video here.